Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Testing Tricks. Today I am going to explain three topics in manual testing. So first is what is software testing, second I'll explain software testing life cycle, and third one is types of software testing. Okay, so first topic would be what is software testing. So software testing means it is a process where we are checking whether the application is working fine or not based on the customer needs. Okay, so suppose if you are giving username password and clicking on login button, that means user should be able to log into the application. That is the expectation, right? It should work. So that is the one login functionality, that is the one of the requirement from the customer. So in this testing, actually we're checking whether it is working fine or not. So testing is the process where we have to check whether application is working fine or not based on the customer needs. Okay, so answer would be okay. So it is a process where we're checking whether application is working fine or not based on the customer requirements. Okay, so this is the meaning of software testing. Now second topic would be STLC, which is software testing life cycle. So you have to understand software testing life cycle if you are a tester. So in software testing life cycle, it includes different stages. Okay, so first stage would be requirement analysis. Okay, so under requirement analysis section, what we are doing actually, we are collecting the requirements from the customer. Means suppose your PMO got that particular epic from the customer, that this many epic or this many user story we have to release in this particular release cycle. Okay, so that particular epic we are collecting from the customer, and after that we are circulating into the entire team, so that this is the epic and it will take around 1 year to 2 year. Okay, in this particular time frame we have to release our entire epic. Okay, and what would is the scope and what is not in our scope, everything it was mentioned just in a high level. That means just we are gathering the requirements from the customer, that this many user story we have to release in this particular release cycle, and it will take minimum 1 year to release this entire epic. So just high levelly we're collecting those requirements. So this is the stage where we are doing this kind of activity. Okay, so that is why this stage we are saying requirement analysis, means we are collecting, we are analyzing the requirement from the customer. Based on that we will proceed. Okay, second stage would be test planning. Okay, so in this test planning section we will do deeper analysis. Okay, that means what is in scope, what is not in scope, how many resource will work, how many resource will work in manual testing, how many resource will work in automation testing, which tool we will use for automation, which tool we will use for test case drafting, which environment we have to use, whether testers are responsible for all the environment testings. Suppose you are testing first in QA, then it is the code is deploying from QA to UAT. So on that particular environment also, we have to check all the functionalities whichever we have tested in QA environment. The same thing we have to test in UAT or prod or stage. What would be the entry criteria, what would be the exit criteria, what would be the estimation, what would be the test case review process. If you are using automation, then which tool you will use, and whether you will add those GitHub or Jenkins tool for CI/CD pipeline, should we introduce or not. Everything we have to plan in test planning section. Okay, in requirement analysis section we are just collecting or gathering the requirements from the customer, but detailed analysis we have to do under test planning section. Okay, so it includes entry criteria, exit criteria, estimation, resource allocation, then tool selection, scoping part, test deliverables. Okay, so everything you have to consider under test planning section. So once it is done, that means we are ready with tool selection, resource allocation, estimation, scoping, entry exit criteria, everything we have decided inside our team. Okay, so now we have to proceed, right? Now this is the time we have to start our activity. So the third stage will be test case development. In this stage we'll start writing the test cases, means we are writing the manual test cases. So if it is in Excel, then you have to write in Excel. If they are saying that no, we are using Jira tool, in that Jira tool only you have to write the test cases, execution, everything you have to do under that tool. So then you have to write the test cases in Jira. Okay, so then after that we have to review it. So every activities related to test case development, everything we have to do under this particular stage. In this stage we have to mainly focus on test case writing part. Okay, once test case writing and reviewing part is done, once your test case is ready for the execution, then we have to plan the environment, in which environment you have to execute. Okay, if it is a QA environment, then particular URL will get it from the DevOps team or from the client team. They will tell all the details, right? So after test case development, the fourth stage would be environment setup. So in which environment you have to execute your manual test cases, whichever you have written. So those test cases you have to execute, right? So environment selection also it is required. Okay, then after that, execution. Next step would be test execution. In this particular stage, what we will do, we'll start executing the test cases one by one, step by step. Okay, If it is in QA environment, we have to go to the QA environment URL. We'll give the username password, and after that we'll start executing those test cases whichever you have written for this particular user story. Okay, so executing the test cases one by one. Okay, and based on that, if it is passing, we'll pass it. If it is failing, we'll raise a defect and we'll fail the test case. So this is the activity you have to do in this particular stage. Okay, once test execution is done, then after that we have to go to the test closer part. Okay, in test closer part, what you have to do, you have to mention each and everything: how many test cases passed, how many test cases failed, how many defects you have found. Suppose you have raised around 200 defects. Out of 200, how many are high priority defect, how many are low priority defect, everything you have to mention. Test summary report also you have to maintain everything. In the closer part, you have to mention everything: how many test cases passed, how much percentage is passed, how much percentage is failed. Okay, and what are the defect is not fixed, how many defects they are considering for the next release. Okay, how many test cases are blocked, everything, all the entire summary part you have to write in a word format in this test closer part, and after that you have to send it to the entire team including client, so that they can understand how much progress we did and how many test cases are passed, failed, how many defects you have found. And in this report, by seeing this report, we can easily understand the health, test health. You can understand where are we actually standing. Okay, okay, so these are the stages for STLC. So in software testing life cycle, we have to follow these many stages. First is requirement analysis. We are collecting the requirements. Under test planning, we are doing thorough analysis. Once all the plannings are done, then after that we have to start with the test case development, means test case writing and reviewing part. Then we are deciding the environment setup, QA environment, or which environment you have to use with all the details, all the permission, everything client will share. That is the test environment setup. Once environment is setup is done, then after that we'll start the execution part. We'll execute the test cases one by one whichever we have written, and after that, once all the execution has been completed, then after that we have to prepare a test summary report. Everything we have to mention in that particular report, and after that we have to send this report to the entire team including client. Okay, so these are the stages are there under STLC, and if you are a manual tester, you should know these stages: software testing lifecycle process, and it is a subset of software development lifecycle. Okay, I'll mention this point also. STLC is a subset of software development lifecycle. Okay, so now coming to the next topic, that is types of software testing. So types of software testing means first is manual and second is automation. Okay, manual testing and second is automation testing. Now under manual you'll get black box, gray box and white box. Okay, so first category is manual and second category is automation. Under manual you will get black box, gray box, white box testing. Okay, now under black box there is a functional and non-functional. So under now black box you have two category, functional testing, second is non-functional testing. Okay, now under functional testing there is a category. Under functional, I'll write it here itself. Under functional testing you have unit testing, then integration testing, then system testing. Okay, under functional testing. Now under non-functional testing there is a performance, usability and compatibility testing. Okay, now under performance testing you have three category. First category is load testing, second is stress testing, and third is stability testing. Okay, so these are the types of software testing. First is manual and second is automation testing. So under manual category you have three: black box, gray box and a white box. Okay, now under black box you have two category: functional, non-functional. Under functional testing you have a unit, integration and system testing. And under non-functional testing you have a three category: performance, usability and compatibility testing. Okay, now under performance there are three category: load, stress and stability. Those three will be coming under performance testing. So under software types of software testing, manual, automation. But under black box there are two: functional, non-functional. Okay, under functional there are three category: unit, integration, system. And under non-functional there are three category: performance, usability and compatibility. Now for under performance you have three category: load, stress and stability testing. So these are the types of software testing. Okay, so don't confuse with level of testing and software testing. Types of software testing is different and level of software testing is different. Okay, so these are the three topics I have explained today. First is software testing. It is a process where we are checking the whether application is working fine or not based on the customer requirements. Okay, second I have explained software testing life cycle. Okay, where I'm checking with the requirement analysis, then we are going with the test planning, then test case development, then environment setup, execution and test closure part. Okay, and also it is a subset of SDLC. And third topic which I have explained, that is types of software testing. Okay, so I hope it is clear for everyone. For so next topic I'll explain in detail way for these types of software testing part: why black box, why white box, okay, why functional, why non-functional. So everything I'll explain in the next video. Thank you.